it's summertime. It's hot outside. Most places. Some places it's not hot. Where I live, it is hot, like super hot and humid. I have lots of things to do in the summer, even if it's just going to sit by the pool. I just don't want to spend a ton of time. Now, I'm not saying this makeup look is something that I would wear sitting at the pool by any means, because I don't wear makeup to the pool. But I posted a picture on my Instagram while I was in Florida of my true vacation look, which is basically brows, mascara, lip gloss, and a tinted sunscreen. But sometimes I do want to amp up the skin just a little bit, but I still want it to look summery and lived in and bronzy and just kind of like almost a little messy. Not the skin, but the eyes. The eyes we're going to just wing today. I haven't done this look exactly, but I really wanted to concentrate on the skin. So I've done my brows and primed my eyes, and we're just gonna go ahead and start on the skin. So I'm not gonna do any kind of primer. It's just another step. Don't really need it. Don't really want it today. I am going to correct quickly with my Jane Iredale Enlighten Concealer in 1. This is just gonna help get rid of the darkness and kind of discoloration that I have under my eyes. And regardless of whether I wear makeup, now I don't always, like the Instagram picture, I didn't have this on, but even if I'm not wearing makeup on other days and I still wanna look more awake, this is a step that I won't skip. So let's go on to the actual skin part. So it's really just, for the base, there's just 2 products. One is marketed as a concealer slash foundation product. This one is a tinted moisturizer. It's the Beautycounter Dew Skin. This is very similar to the base look that I did on my other channel, my Clean Beauty channel. But I wanted to do it on here too because it is something that I really have been going for a lot this summer, and it's super easy. I have 2 colors right now because I'm a little bit darker, so I need a little bit of number 3, but number 2 is what I typically wear year round. And I'll just add a little bit of number 3 in. I guess a pump of each, so half and half. I'm going to mix that on my hand. Now, this being a tinted moisturizer, and this is a very almost tacky product because it does have a good amount of luminosity to it as well, which is what I love. But I like to start with my hands. And I actually have a somewhat newer tool or brush that I'm going to kind of add to. So you see this glow. I use this a lot as a primer because I love the luminosity that it gives, because it is a very sheer to light coverage. It does have an SPF 20. It's comprised of 14% zinc oxide. I have very reactive skin, so whenever I touch it, it gets red. So that's to be expected. A little bit of redness is going to be showing more than normal because I'm using my fingers to put a lot of pressure, but that's going to die down after a little while. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to use this Real Techniques Foundation Blender. This little sucker is so much better than I thought it was going to be. This is number 213. I love the size of it. As you'll see, it fits into your hands so well, but I love the density of it. It's a super densely packed brush. So I will just add a little bit more onto those areas where I may have a little bit more redness and I need a towel. And I always need a towel when I can't have a towel, so I'm going to use my leg. And I'm going to kind of use that to tap that product in. Just gives it a little bit more coverage. And then I will also use this on my neck to make sure that the coloring on my forehead matches the coloring on my neck. So as you can see, that gave just a sheer to light, really pretty glowy finish. Now for under my eyes and some of the spots that are still a little more red than I would like, where I want a little bit more coverage, I'm going to go in with the RMS Uncover Up. So this is that product that I was talking about that's kind of like a mix between a concealer and a foundation. It's marketed kind of as both. Comes in a little pot like this. It's not the cheapest thing for the amount of product you get, but you really need such a small amount of product that it lasts you forever. I've used this, how I'm going to use it today. I've used it strictly as concealer, and I've used it as an all-over foundation, and I love it always. This is the number 33. So it's more my skin tone. It's not going to be a brighter color, and that's because I wanted something that I could use to conceal my face in certain areas, to use as an all-over foundation. So I chose number 33. If I were wanting something that was a little bit brighter, I would have gone with number 22. So I'm going to use a Sephora Pro Full Coverage Precision number 67 brush. Put the Uncover Up on it, and I'm just going to put it under my eyes, and then I'm also going to put it around my nose and on my chin and any areas of my cheeks that still have a little bit more redness than I want at this time. So I'm using the same stippling motion with this brush as I did with the foundation blender from Real Techniques. That way I'm not moving a lot of the product underneath it, and I'm getting the most coverage that I can out of the specific product that I'm using, while also enabling me to be as precise as possible. So now that I have that coverage, that extra coverage that I want without completely compromising the really glowy, pretty finish of the Dew Skin, I'm going to take a beauty sponge and just tap out my entire face to pick up any excess product and also blend out my under eye before we set it with powder. This sponge does not have any excess product. It's simply a damp sponge that I have not used yet. So that is the basis for my summer skin. It's super easy, and if I weren't talking through the steps, I could get that done in easily under 5 minutes, like probably 2.5 minutes tops. Let's go ahead and finish off the face before we do anything with the eyes. I'm going to set my under eyes with my Hourglass Veil powder, a very light amount. You never want too much of anything under your eye, but especially powder. Now, I still want to set this because I don't want it to go anywhere when I go outside and start sweating, but I want to set it very minimally. So I'm going to use the RMS tinted powder in color 2 to 3. It's actually called the untinted, I think. Oh no, excuse me, tinted unpowder, and it's in the color 2 to 3. And that's the color right there. I'm going to use my Wayne Goss airbrush because this is small, it's fluffy, it's not going to put down too much product, and I can be more precise versus using a very large fluffy brush, because I really just want to keep this on my forehead, on my nose, chin, and then T-zone. So just right out here where you tend to get a little bit sweatier from those pores. And then I'm just going to take a little bit and just lightly sweep it right here, because we are going to put a bronzer down. And I know that seems like the whole face, but I'm not dousing it with powder because I'm using this precision brush. Now, because it's summer and because I'm going to sweat when I walk outside, I'm actually going to skip highlighter today. Oh my goodness, who am I? But I'm not going to skip bronzer because I am still Mandy. And if I'm doing makeup, I will have bronzer on. It just doesn't make sense not to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with two different bronzers, which I know is kind of like, well, that doesn't help minimize the products when you're using just 2 of one. But I have a reasoning for it. I'm going to start off with a little bit of a more neutral toned cool bronzer, and I'm going to be using the Pure Bronzing Act matte bronzer in the color Dark. So if you can see this color, it's not super warm. It's more of like a cool neutral color, and that's because we're going to top it with something that is a little bit warmer. So if I go in with a warm bronzer and then a warm topper, I can look a little orange. So we're going to start out with something more neutral. That way it can balance each other out. So I'm going to use my Wayne Goss number 11 brush. Are you surprised? And then I'm just going to start bronzing up all the places that I normally do. This is no different than day to day for me. So just around my forehead, cheekbones, a little bit underneath the cheekbones. I'm not contouring on the temple. Even though this is dark, it's not overpowering. So I have the medium color or the light color too, and that works for me too. But when I have a little bit more color, or when I want the more bronzy look, I go for the dark. Now I'm going to go into, I feel like, I don't want to say this is the star of the show, but as far as the powder products that I'm using on my face, I think it is, because it makes such a difference in my opinion. This is from MAC, and it's the Mineralized Skin Finish in Global Glow. So that's what it looks like right here. Definitely too dark on me to be, there goes my beauty blender, hope I don't need it again, to be a highlighter, but I use this as a bronze topper. Now, because I'm wanting to top my bronzer and I'm going to end up putting it down my nose and my chin, I'm using a bigger brush. So I'm going to use my Tom Ford bronzing brush for this, and I'm just going to pick up the product, and you can tell that it's a lot warmer And I'm just going to dust this on top of where I put that other bronzer. I'm going to go a little bit higher on my cheekbones though, because I'm not using a blush either. Get down the center a little bit of my face. And then just take a little bit more and, like I said, kind of put it on my cheeks, because this is going to be bronzer, blush, and highlight today. So that's pretty much the gist of the skin. Super simple, not like hard to achieve at all. What we're going to do for the eyes is a little bit of a like worn in brown bronzy look, but I'm only going to use 2 products. So I'm going to start out with the NARS. This is the Velvet Eyeliner in the color Mambo. So it's just a regular sharpened pencil, but it's a really pretty, like almost, it reminds me a little bit of, what is that from MAC? Costa Riche, like that almost maroon. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not very good right now in explaining. Anyways, I'm going to line my eyes first. So I'm just going to take this and like sloppily put it on my lash line. And I'm going to make it a little bit of a thicker line. And in between steps of lining, I'm going to go in with a pencil brush and just kind of blend it out a little bit. Blend it out and up. I'm not winging this because really this is just going to be the kind of a base to our eye. I just want it to give that like really smoky definition. So you can see it's very subtle, but it's there and it's lived in and it's natural, and that's what I'm going for. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to go back and do a little bit more, but for right now, we're going to go to the next step, which is just taking a fluffier brush and going back into that Global Glow, really packing it on the brush, tapping it off a little bit because you don't want it to fall down, and just kind of topping that up into the crease. So this is really going to tie in nicely with what we've done with the face because it's the exact same product. So you're not even just getting in the same color range, you're getting in the same product range. So it ties everything together really well. And then I'm going to go back in with that pencil, line and smoke out one more time. Now what I'm going to do, which I don't typically do, but I find it works well for this look, is I'm going to take that same eyeliner and I'm going to put it in the waterline and also underneath just a little bit. And then take that same pencil brush and smudge it out. I love this formula. I love this color. I found it at TJ Maxx a while ago. I've been keeping it in my kit and I love it so much. And that's how easy that is to just give a really like smoked out, worn in look. And then I'm just going to take that same fluffy brush with a little bit more of the Golden Glow and go underneath. And then I'm just going to do my lashes off camera per usual, and we'll be back. The only thing left is lips. Y'all know I'm not a big lip person. Like, I love a good lip gloss, I love a good lipstick, but I'm not gonna like fret over it. So I'm just gonna use the Lancome Juicy Tubes in the color Simmer, number 44, and apply some of that. Not to listen to my girls fighting downstairs. Like, school cannot start soon enough. And they need to be apart from each other. And that's it. That is my like lived in summer skin bronzy look. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this. This is just a look, the skin I've been really liking to do lately. And then I just thought the eyes would pair pretty with it. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I have been on a little bit of a YouTube block lately. Like, I really don't know what to film and I'm kind of still there. So if you have any specific requests, be sure and put them down below, because I'm kind of at the point where I don't even know what y'all really want to see anymore. I don't even know if I'm putting up the type of videos you want to see, that kind of stuff. I'm just kind of in a funk. So let me know down below what you would like to see next from me, and I will do my best to put that out there. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. In the meantime, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I hope y'all all go out and have a very blessed day.